What is up, guys? Noisyboy here, and I'm back again with another video. And today I'm going to be going over some 21 replays I had with my normal giant skeleton balloon deck. As you can see right here, got 20 wins in the challenge. Took me a couple tries, but I eventually got it first day. And I was using this deck right here. As you can see, it's my normal deck. But anyway, let's get right into it. First game, I'm going to be showing my 20th win. It was versus this drill bridge spam deck. This deck is... It's not the worst matchup in the world. It's not great. I mean, it's winnable if you play well. But, anyway, as you can see, don't really want to be making the first move ever with this deck, honestly. But, yeah, this isn't the worst matchup. You can definitely win it if you play well. But he goes Royal, goes in the back, and I have a pretty awkward hand, so I go Executioner. And then right here, you'll see that I probably just go E-Drag, same lane. Yeah, I go E-Drag. There's nothing else. I really could have blocked Execution with the Ghost, but that would have given him great Magic Archer value, and I didn't really want to give him that. And as soon as he plays this Magic Archer, I know immediately what he's using. I know he's using Drill Bridge Spam, and I got to be careful about that Magic Archer because that will cost me game. You'll see later on, that Magic Archer gets him way too much value, and it ends up making the game pretty close, honestly. But anyway, just let this Magic Archer die. And you can see right here, I go for a Lumberloon, Magic Archer's out of hand, and I know his Tornado's also out of hand, so I punish him right here. And Lumberjack actually gets great value here, kills the E-Wiz, or doesn't kill it, but leaves it at 1 HP, which I guess is kind of annoying. As you can see, I get a good Tornado here, knowing that his Nado's out of hand, he can't pull my balloon to King Tower, and I get a ton of damage there with that Tornado, killing off the Electro Wizard. And right here, this cannon card right here that he played is super annoying. There's nothing I can really do about it. But I do play an Execution just to push the cannon card off the tower last second. That gives a Magic Archer. And right here, I'm just going to ignore it because if I do play anything on this, I'm going to be down so much elixir. He's going to pressure opposite lane, and I'm just going to lose if I do that. So, as you see right there, I just let his Magic Archer do its thing, and it pretty much evens out our damage, honestly. And now I'm just going to be waiting for him to make the next move, waiting for double elixir. And this gives since double elixir came up, I was able to place a giant skeleton. I just place it in the back, and he places a golden knight there. And right here, as you can see, giant skeleton hops on the drill, and I place E-Drag on the drill to help kill that. Golden knight dies, and I have a huge counter push right here. I know right here, I'm almost guaranteed to take tower. And I go balloon right here. And then I know when he plays a Magic Archer, as you can see, Tornado, everything's to the tower. Get good E-Drag chain and an amazing freeze. This like freezes everything. And this freeze pretty much just allows me to take tower. And it almost wins me the game, actually, this freeze. But, right there, just go Lumberjack, keep up the pressure. I should have placed it more to the right side. I would have gone for the King Tower. I probably would have won the game much sooner had I done this. But I ignore the drill and keep pressuring because, well, that's kind of what I have to do right now. As there's really no way I'll defend the drill and the Magic Archer that they would probably drop on top of whatever troop I place to defend. But anyway, Giant Skeleton walks back over to the Electro Wizard, which is really good for me. Bomb hits the Electro Wizard, knocks it away, and as you can see, Balloon gets another hit. And you'll see, I have his tower down to 300 right here. This doesn't last for very long, though, because I almost throw this game really badly. You'll see, I make a huge mistake. I place a really bad Giant Skeleton sometime soon, and it almost cost me the game. You'll see this game comes down really close, which it shouldn't have been. Anyway, you see I placed a Giant Skeleton right there. And my plan was to Tornado everything into the Giant Skeleton and eliminate all the counter push. But I missed the Tornado on the cannon cart and he placed an Electro Wizard off to the side and nothing really went to plan, honestly. Just kind of a series of unfortunate events that I really did not like to happen. Luckily that Golden Knight died to the Snowball though. And I drop a Lumberjack here. Knowing that my King Tower has a lot of HP, I just decided to ignore that cannon card. Then he drops the cannon card there. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta defend this. So I Tornado away. And those cannon cards just destroy my King Tower. My King Tower ends up at like 400 after this. Like, it's crazy. His Magic Archer gets a ton of damage. I am having to freeze that, which I really don't like at all. And I have to snowball that back too. And as you can see, I place a perfect time Lumberjack so where the tower shoots his and finishes off his Magic Archer. That ends up winning me the game right there. That Lumberjack right here. Because as you can see on the counter push, I get that rage spell. I go balloon and eject, so that way you can't just Electro Wizard on top of it, which I predicted. And then I had my Tornado ready for his cannon cart in the pocket, which obviously he placed. And I get a good free spell here. And this game comes down way too close. Like as you can see, Death Bomb is about to blow up. Goblin Drill on my tower, and my Death Bomb blows up his King Tower last second. Like, I almost threw that game really badly. And it all came down to that one bad Giant Skeleton that I placed in the middle, and nothing really went my way after that, honestly. This logbait game, this was a tough one because I almost won. I had him in like the last 10 seconds. I had a lumber balloon on his tower, and then the time ran out, and he ended up winning by tiebreaker. So 5 more seconds, and my balloon would have taken the damage advantage. But this Three Musketeers game, this game's great. I love how this game went. Everything went my way this game. But as you can see, this guy really wasn't the greatest. He was pretty over aggressive in the beginning, and you'll see, just nothing goes his way after that. But anyway, he goes Heal Spear to the bridge. He goes a Golden Knight in the back, which I think is a decent play. He's just trying to cycle through his Elixir Pump, which seems like a good play. So I go Giant Skeleton. I think what he should have done, I think the pump was the correct play, honestly. But yeah, he makes a few mistakes after this. Like, you'll see, he plays an awkward Three Musketeers, which I don't really agree with. You see, I go right here because when you're first Three Musketeers, you have to take tower and single. If you're not up at least a tower and single, you're not going to win. You're not winning this game in double. But he plays Three Musketeers in the middle, and he splits them with one Musketeer on that side, the side closer to my Giant Skeleton Balloon, which I think was a huge mistake on his end, because if he played them 2 on that side, I wouldn't have been able to nader them opposite lane, or at least one would have stayed locked on, and it would have been pretty annoying for me. But right there, I just tornadoed them opposite, and as you can see, take my shot, especially with that bad Ice Golem we played in front of those Three Musketeers, he should have kited my Giant Skeleton with it straight into his 3M, and I would have only taken 1 tower. He probably would have taken my tower on the counter push, and yeah, that could have gone his way, but he played a bad Ice Golem, and I just kept pressuring and 3-count him. And went on to the next Golem game. This guy is a really good player. Well, actually, he's alright. He's always in the top ladder, but he relies on starting hands a lot, and in general, he makes a few mistakes. He's pretty toxic, so I end up BMing here. You'll see it's pretty funny. I mean, if you check out my Twitter, I posted something, and that NoisyBoyRPW, my Twitter, he just goes Golem first play, and I end up clowning on him. But anyway, he just goes Golem. I go Executioner, Giant Skeleton. This game's already over. He's not doing anything. This is probably just about the best matchup you can get with my deck. This deck, it's pretty much impossible to lose this matchup. The only way you can lose is if you have the worst possible starting hand when they go Golem first play. That's really the only possible way I can see you losing this. But even then, you can take tower back so easily, it's not even funny. But anyway, you'll see right here, I'm up a ton of Elixir. I have a big counter push. Nothing he can even do. The game's already over. He's not winning this. And see, I even called a good game. I know game's over. He knows game's over. He knows it's it. And as you can see, he just goes Scar me Cullen out of desperation, just to avoid me from pressuring more. But I just snowball it. I'm up a ton of Elixir. He knows it's over. I know it's over. I start laughing at him. This is great. And you can see, game's over. I don't like Golem Clone just because it relies on starting hands, so I decided to take the opportunity and make fun of him a little bit. It's pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, pretty easy game, honestly. And that guy, he made, I don't know, everything just went wrong for that guy, honestly. And next up, we have another game versus same drill bridge spam deck. This game, I mean, this deck, it's probably a 60-40 matchup for them. It's not horrible. You can definitely win it if you play well, but if you're not careful, they're just going to get a ton of magic archer and drill damage, and they can just keep going defensive drill and tornado to kill all your balloons. And it can be super annoying if they play well. But anyway, he goes Ghost in the back. I go Giant Skeleton. I have no other ground cards. I don't want to play an Executioner into that. And yeah, that's pretty annoying, honestly. But I play, he plays a Magic Archer, which I think is super aggressive for single Elixir. Like, he should not be doing that, honestly. And he plays an even more aggressive Golden Knight, which is, this guy's just not playing well. This guy's giving me so much counter push potential. You see, when they play super aggressive like that, it's not really good for them to do that in single, because you'll see all this counter push potential I get. And he plays that Tornado, he pulls that to the King Tower, which, it's super annoying for me, but I get a Giant Skeleton lock, which I guess I'm okay with, because I'm still up Elixir and I'm up damage now, which is really bad for this guy. This guy was way too aggressive, and he didn't play the best defense, so I ended up getting a ton of damage on him. Anyway, we just wait, and I'm pretty sure I leak here, and I wait for, oh no, I play Executioner. And, well, cycling Executioner back is okay, because it kind of blocks off that lane. He's not going to play a drill into it. He's not going to Magic Archer and make the same mistake that he made last time. And I can just pull this Ghost to the King Tower for an even trade and activate my King Tower, which is super important in this matchup for ignoring Goblin Drills and stuff. Like, if you ever have to ignore a Goblin Drill, it won't be the end of the world if you have King Tower activated, just because, well, King Tower is going to be helping out. As you can see, he goes, Cannon Cart, pretty good defense for him. And right here, I can just play a Electro Dragon or a Giant Skeleton. I play Giant Skeleton, and I think the better play there would have been to play an Electro Dragon and then play a Giant Skeleton in front of it on the counter push, and the Tornado everything together to eliminate all of his defense. That probably would have been the best play, and it would have cleared a way for me to place my Balloon, honestly. But anyway, nonetheless, it still goes pretty well for me. Giant Skeleton Death Bomb takes care of that Electro Wizard, and Balloon's flying over there. I know he has nothing else for this, so I play Safe Freeze Spell because, well, yeah, I know he didn't have a Tornado in hand, so it gets me 2 hits. And he played a Golden Knight there for whatever reason. I'm sure that was supposed to be a Magic Archer, but this guy's not playing well at this point. I just play a Giant Skeleton. As you can see, free Giant Skeleton. It's just, the Death Bomb's going to kill his whole push. Same with the Electric Dragon, just chaining everything. And this guy's just making mistakes left and right. He's not playing well at all. And I just go for a Lumberloon here just to keep up the pressure, you know. I mean, this tower's pretty low. All I need really is death damage, to be honest. And that was a terrible Tornado. Because now he can't go Gobbler on Tornado the Balloon onto his King again. So I just get a Balloon hit right there. Game's over. It's nothing he can do. And, yeah. As you can see, that guy didn't play the best. It's definitely winnable if you outplay them. Not the easiest matchup, but 60-40 them. It's definitely winnable if you play well. And really, you just... To win that matchup, you want to use your Electro Dragon Giant Skeleton as counter push cards. So you want to be playing Electro Dragon to every push I play, Giant Skeleton on top of all their pushes, Lumberjack for the drill, and just be abusing every single counter push you can get. That's really the best way that you can handle that matchup. As you can see, I handled that matchup super well, and it paid off. Going into the next game, this guy's running Lava Loon with Lightning. Now, normally Lava Loon is extremely easy for me, but Lightning plus arrows makes it pretty annoying, honestly. But none of us make a move till double, as you can see. He just goes Tombstone, and I just play a Lumberjack into it. I go an Electro Dragon here. That Lightning caught me off guard, because, well, I didn't know he had a Lumberloon. I mean, I didn't know he had a Lava Loon, but that when they have Tombstone, typically they don't have Lightning unless they have Electro Giant. So after he played that Lightning, I thought it was Electro Giant. And even these two cards can be used, Mega Minion and Baby Dragon. They can be used in Electro Giant also, but as you can see, this guy plays Lava Hound, and I was shocked at this point. I had no idea what was going on or what this guy was doing, and I had no idea why he was running Lightning and Lava Hound. But I guess it helps him, so I mean, there's nothing I can really say here. But this guy, Lightning is definitely very annoying for me because this guy can just Lightning pretty much every defense that I play and every counter push that I get. So it makes my life extremely difficult. Sorry about the background noise. There's there's thunder going on, but I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Anyway, as you can see, just get a big counter push here. I know his Lightning's out of hand, which is why I stacked all my troops together. And I know the game's over already. Executioner gets a ton of value. New Executioner buff was... Executioner isn't broken. It's an A tier card now. It's around the same strength as Bowler, but the new Executioner can be so helpful in certain scenarios. Like you saw right there, it hit through the skeletons, it hit the Mega Minion also, and hit the Tombstone because of that Executioner buff. New Executioner buff definitely helps in certain scenarios, but other scenarios, it doesn't really help. It helped against Log Bait a lot. Like, Executioner is so much better versus Log Bait decks now, and same with Bridge Spam decks like Magic Archer. It can now hit Magic Archer hiding behind troops, which is extremely helpful, which it really couldn't do before. The axe would never reach it, which was super annoying for me. Anyway, going into this game versus Lumberloon Bowler. Since this guy was running E-Drag, the Electro Dragon version is a little bit more difficult than the Baby Dragon version, but it's still my matchup. I'd say it's 55-45 me, but I usually win this just because, I don't know, most Lumberloon players aren't the greatest on it, if I'm being completely honest. Most of them aren't really too great, and they tend to be over-aggressive, and I can punish them pretty easily. But if a good Lumberloon player is running Electro Dragon, and the Electro Dragon version, it's definitely winnable for them. 55-45 me, but they can definitely play well and win. But this guy's running Baby Dragon instead of the Inferno Dragon, which is definitely a bit odd, not gonna lie. But you'll see in this game, time and time again, this guy's way too aggressive with his pushes. And he's over-aggressive and he doesn't defend well, so I end up punishing him really well throughout the game. And, yeah. But this guy's choice of Baby Dragon over Inferno Dragon is a bit odd, and it really ends up hurting him a lot here because he doesn't know that Inferno Dragon to clean up by Balloon really well. As you can see, I get 2 Balloon hits right here because he doesn't have Inferno Dragon. And right here, just get a good Electro Dragon here. There's not much you can really do about it. And you'll see he tries to go Balloon opposite lane, which I think is a huge mistake on his end. And you'll see right here, I get a ton of balloon. You see, if you snowball the balloon to the side and then you tornado it to king, you can actually pull it to king for no hits. And there's not, if they go for a naked balloon like that. Even if they go for a lumber balloon, you can drop a lumberjack like up high right by the river. It'll pull the lumberjack back, and then you can go for the NATO snowball on the balloon to pull it to the king tower, which is really helpful in certain scenarios, especially in these lumber balloon matchups where the damage always comes down to death damage usually. Like, if they're good at playing lumber balloon and you guys are about equal skill, neither of you are really going to get any balloon connectors. It's mostly going to come down to the death damages building up and who gets more of those, honestly. And sometimes it'll come down to the eject chain damage too and the bowler damage, but yeah, you're not really going to be getting many balloon connections. This guy just didn't play good defense, which is why I got to his tower so easily. But, yeah. As you can see, just tornado this back, kill the Electro Dragon. This game's over. There's not really anything you can do. Once you get a good damage advantage, if you're in a lumber balloon mirror matchup, if you get one balloon hit, you pretty much already won the game, because most of the game is really just going to rely all on, death damage and just chipping out your opponent. So if you get one big balloon connection, like even just one hit, that's pretty big, and you pretty much already won the game at that point, since you're just always going to be head-on damage after that if you're playing any good defense at all. But going into the next matchup, we have Recruits Royal Hogs. This matchup is so awkward because, like, if you can keep a perfect hand the whole game, you can win pretty easily. But that is so difficult to do. Like, if they play one Royal Hogs that you are not expecting, it screws up your whole hand the whole game, and you just lose. So, because if you have an off hand, or even if you get a bad starting hand, if you get a bad starting hand and they take advantage of that, your cycle's going to be screwed up the whole game, and you're not going to win. The matchup's 60-40 them, but if you do a good job managing your cycle and elixir count, and you count your opponent's cycle and stuff like that, and you know exactly when to pressure, and you're just playing super well overall, you're going to do very well in this matchup, and you're going to be able to win it. But then again, it's pretty difficult to do, and you have to know what you're doing, honestly. As you can see, I'm just playing Executioner and Giant Skeleton right here. I don't have Tornado, so this was a big mistake. If I had Tornado, this would have been a good play, but since I don't have Tornado, you can see he just plays Recruits right here, and it just kills my whole push. Really, that's not even really a push, honestly. It's more just trying to bait elixir out of them into the splash units and the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb. But as you can see, since I didn't have Tornado, I kind of screwed myself, honestly. It's not. That wasn't a great play because I had to use my Tornado on the pigs. But anyway, he goes Golden Knight here. This is what I'm saying. Like, if you got one awkward cycle, you're forced to overcommit and screws you up for the rest of the game. Like you see right here, I'm forced to play an E-Drag and a Freeze on there and a Snowball back, and then the Golden Knight still gets a connection, which I think is ridiculous, honestly. But anyway, this whatever. I can still come back. Game is definitely not over. And right here, I'm just not going to play anything because, well, what else was I going to play? If I played Balloon, he would have just gone Zappies. If I played Executioner, he would have just gone Recruits in the back, and I would have lost the game. And, yeah. But anyway, I just go Executioner in the back again. And this time, I'm going to be careful, because I know what happened last time, and this time I'm just going to wait to see what he does, and I know if he ignores that, Executioner is going to kill the cage, which is perfect for me, because this allows me to play Giant Skeleton right here. It allows me to build a big push, and what is he going to do into this? If he recruits into it, then I just go E-Drag, as you can see, get a good E-Drag value, and yeah. But as you can see, he goes Royal Hogs opposite lane. This was a horrible play on his end, because I just cycled back to my Executioner. Executioner, as you can see, the buff right there. That's exactly where the buff is useful. It just killed the Zappies and everything. Because that extra range, it was able to hit the Zappies and hit the Recruit in the far back, which it wouldn't have hit before. And everything is just going my way at this point. And as you can see, I'm just going to Tornado all this stuff together. Because, well, again, Executioner buff, taking care of those Zappies. It's exactly what we like to see. Unfortunately, Balloon doesn't get the last hit. And I know this game isn't over yet since he has Fireball, but I know he doesn't have arrows. So I know that I can still win this, which as you saw probably from me clicking on the replay, I do manage to win this because, well, I prevent all the damage right there. And since he only has Fireball, he doesn't have arrows, he can't just spell cycle me out. If he cycles one Fireball on my tower, I just punish him and win. Right here, I know his Fireball was still out of hand, so I went Balloon, he goes Cage. I get an amazing freeze right here, and then I just tornadoed out opposite lane to help finish it off, and this game's over now. I won. As you can see, it got very scary at the end, but I did manage to pull it off. But yeah, that matchup, you just got to keep a good cycle, and you'll definitely be able to win that if you play well. Alright, and going into the last replay, I I guess I'll show this Mega Knight bait game, this Mega Knight Wall Breakers game. And as you can see, this guy's a CRL badge, definitely not a bad player. But anyway, this matchup is their matchup in single, just because they can be super aggressive and there's not much I can do about it. Going into double elixir, I should always be able to come back and win this in double, because they don't have much air defense, and I can easily overpower them by building up bigger pushes. And yeah, there's not much they can do come double elixir time, and I can usually make a comeback there. I'd say this matchup is 60-40 me. I mean, just because they can get a decent lead in single if they play well, but if they don't, then I can usually come back in double and win the game pretty easily. Maybe 60-40 me, possibly even 70-30 me. But right there, I played a Panic Freeze. I didn't actually need that, but I thought the Executioner was going to lock onto the Miner, which in that case I would have, yes, had to freeze the Wall Breakers. But I froze the Wall Breakers thinking that Executioner locked on the Miner, and then I realized, oh yeah, he didn't. So that was a mistake on my end, but it's whatever. I just play a low Giant Skeleton there. Pulls the Mega Knight into both towers range. And then I'm going to get a good Giant Skeleton counter push, which is good for me. And as you can see here, I don't really have to play anything else on this Musketeer, because the Musketeer is just going to walk into the death bomb of the Giant Skeleton. It's only going to get one shot, which I think I do end up defending this just because I have 9 elixir and it gives me good counter push. I guess not, but anyway, I'm just waiting. That was a good play. I shouldn't have defended that, because I'd rather just take the one hit and just leave it. Because if I did play something on that, I would have been down a ton of elixir, would have been in a bad cycle, and he would have easily been able to punish. And as you see right there, he probably would have gotten both of those wall breaker connections had I defended the Musketeer, which would have not been good. But right here, I just get a good Executioner that kills the bats, kills the bandit, and he's going to be forced to defend this on a counter push. And I do play a balloon right here. My hope was that he was going to play the Musketeer in the middle, thinking that I was going to get Executioner Tornado value onto his tower. I was hoping that he would play the Musketeer in the middle, so that way I could just Tornado it to the opposite lane, but he ended up not doing that. So that was unfortunate, but it's whatever. He punishes me a little bit, gets a good Wall Breakers connection, but good Giant Skeleton placement, so the Giant Skeleton targets the closer of Wall Breaker and kills one of them. Because if you play a bad Giant Skeleton, it'll actually switch which Wall Breaker it's targeting. And it'll end up screwing you over with, like, because then it'll hit both wall breakers once and they'll both end up connecting. If you have good placement, it'll actually kill one of the wall breakers and you only take one wall breaker connection. But right here, as you can see, just play a good Execution in the middle, pulls the bandit to the middle and the Mega Knight, and then I can actually play a good Giant Skeleton down low, and yeah. Pretty good defense. That's really how you want to be handling those split lane pushes. He's only dropping a troop in the middle, usually an Executioner, or often I do it with the Giant Skeleton, but right there I didn't have Giant Skeleton in hand, so I used the Execution, pulled the Bandit and the Mega Knight in the middle. I do this a lot with P.E.K.K.A. Bridgeman too, pull everything to the middle, and drop like an E-Drag or some kind of a splashing, or even the Giant Skeleton on it, and it'll just kill everything. So really, that's how you want to be handling those split lane pushes, kite everything to the middle. And right there, I had that huge counter push off of that Giant Skeleton. He had no air counters, and I froze and killed his Musketeer. Bats were out of hand, and you saw there's nothing you could really do there, so we kind of just gave up. Game was over, and yeah, that's kind of how you want to be handling that matchup. It's kiting everything to the middle when they build up the split lane pushes, and using your counter push to win the game. Not being too aggressive, because you are over aggressive, you're going to get in a bad cycle. They're going to punch you for it while being up on elixir and having a good cycle. And yeah, it's not really going to go well for you if you're over aggressive. But that's how most matchups are with this deck. You got to be very careful. Got to play slowly and wait for your counter push opportunity. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, maybe I'll make another 21 on my second account. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments in the comment section below. And yeah, have a great day.